Yes.
Still waiting for, did you expect to see it? And then the other one will be on the status of the mediation that you know an 18-member committee was set up recently with regards to the equitable revenue for the counties.
Thank you. From what we know,
masuala tumeyazoea tu bungeni, lakini langu sijui labda kama litachukuliwa na mwenyekiti wa afya, manake ukiangalia wananchi wengi wanahangaika sana katika hospitali mashinani na nyingi, utakumbuka kwamba
we note with great concern the delays by the controller of budget to approve requisitions for the withdrawal of funds. This is unacceptable to an institution that's supposed to be facilitative. We call upon the controller of budget to stop being a bottleneck to this process and ensure counties access their funds in a timely manner. Counties are receiving 50% of the equitable share based on fiscal year 2023-24's allocation. That's previous year's allocation. This is just a stopgap measure that the Council of Governors sought to ensure continuity of operations in counties due to lack of a county allocation and Revenue Act. The National Treasury, even on the basis of these arrangements, is yet to disburse 63.6 billion for October and November 2024 allocations. However, by December 2024, the 50% will have been exhausted, which means county governments will not receive any disbursements from January 2025. If the process results in a lack of mediated position to move the budgeting process forward, how are we expected to continue spending money when we don't know how much we should spend? Counties now don't know what to commit, what not to commit. They don't know whether to do supplementary budgets or not. And we're saying, is it fair that life moves on for national government because they went ahead and did a supplementary appropriation based on a dollar that has not been amended yet, right? We cannot do the same unless we have a CARA that has been assented to. I think these are some of the things that we need to look at, even going forward, so that this kind of stalemate does not hold the country to a grind. And to the best of our knowledge, a date of return back to the negotiations has not been announced. We are well into the 30-day available under the law for this exercise to be completed. And within that 30 days, mediation ought to be completed. Else we will be in a serious crisis, because we will have a DORA that's not supported by a CARA, and both houses of Parliament will need a 2/3 majority to overturn the presidential memo that returned that CARA, which we don't see happening. There's also another imminent problem in that the houses are likely to go on recess, and from what we gather, according to the calendar, are unlikely to come back before February of next year. And you know, our fiscal year ends in June, so there ought to be sufficient time between when this budgeting process is finalized, consummated, and the fiscal year end, to allow us to implement the budgets. We note that as of May 2024, the total outstanding debts owed to county governments by the defunct National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF, was Kenya shillings 12.9 billion. So far, only Kenya shillings 3.8 billion of this has been remitted, and counties are currently still owed 9.1 billion. We call upon the SHA to expedite the payment of pending claims under the NHIF and SHA. This will allow for timely payment of our vendors, as well as effective service provision for the patients. For the SHA registration to succeed, first of all, we need to pay the CHPs. How do you pay when there's no money? We also need to pay the people who are in charge of our facilities. Some counties here are yet to pay salaries for the last 3 months as a result of the delay in disbursement. In many of these counties, we need to get to where the masses are to have them registered. We have governors here who manage counties that are over 50,000 square kilometers. So the question of logistics, the question of fuel, all these things come into play.
Ni mpango ambao unatugharimu pesa nyingi sana, kwa sababu tunalipa fedha ambazo tunazozichukua tunalipa pamoja na interest kubwa, na kwa hivyo hatuna uhakika hata kama hizi pesa zitaendelea kuja. Kwa hivyo itakuwa ni vigumu sana kwa serikali za county kuchukua mpango ule, na ndipo mwenyekiti akasema kwamba tukifika pale na kukwambe katika haya mazungumzo, itatubidi tu kufunga na kuwaomba wafanyikazi wetu waende nyumbani wakajitetee kule mbele.
How can we be able to pay KEMSA if we are still owed 9 billion by the de facto NHIF authority? Because if you look at what is owed to KEMSA by counties put together, it is a meager 3.8 billion as compared to 9.1 that is owed by NHIF. In fact, we are at a point where we are saying, why don't you just cash off, offset that money that is owed to KEMSA. NHIF should pay KEMSA so that we can continue collecting drugs and pay as a balance. It will be easier for us. But all the time it is blamed on counties. We have not paid KEMSA. We are not having drugs in the facilities. While in actual sense, it is the effort of all those other agencies to frustrate counties that has contributed to this. That is our position. There was a requirement by facilities that are owned by both the public and the private to be licensed and registered. All the public facilities and the private facilities that are registered and licensed were a total of 48,000. But to date, the number of facilities that are operationalized by SHA is only 7,800, which is hardly 10%. So what about the other facilities that are ready for SHA and SHA has not rolled out? When patients go to those facilities, definitely they will not be able to access that because it is not available. And therefore, we have to pull up our socks both on the side of SHA itself and the public to make sure that they register themselves. Only then will the system start working 100%, and we stop having this issue of SHA is not working. It's not working because all of us have a role to play, which we have not played, for that matter. Out of the population of almost 60 million Kenyans, only 14,000 have registered. 14 million. Out of the 60 million, only 14 million have registered. Of this 14 million 800, 8.5 are new. 6.2 are the ones that were moved from NHIF to SHA. Practically, it means that only 8 million Kenyans have taken the responsibility to register themselves to be known so that they can be treated using SHA in the facilities. What is the problem? The problem could be both attitude by the people themselves. It could be the message that is coming from us, the public, when we all the time talk about SHA is not working, and therefore people don't feel the urge to register themselves. And we are asking all the stakeholders to please urge and help all the Kenyans register themselves. It's the only way you can be able to go to a hospital and be claimed without paying, and because the facility will claim later from the SHA. If you're not registered, that is where we have that element of facilities asking you to pay, for you to pay in cash because you're not in the system.